What an eruption today, guys. Imagine a volcano is running after you. This is a dangerous volcano. Last eruption in 2021 has ended a lot of people, and this time, gosh, hikers were at the foot of the volcano. Almost 200 people were stuck. But I want to explain before I show you this video that is absolutely amazing. We have several videos that I want to show you, but I want to show you this image because this looks almost unreal. And I want to explain to you, is that lightning? Is it real? Yes, guys, this picture is real. I mean, amazing. It was captured by a webcam during the eruption. 10 eruptions today. It erupted 10 times Mount Semeru Volcano on the Indonesian island of Java. And what we see is friction of tephra, like volcanic rocks, like particles of tephra, are going in the air because they are in the eruption column, and that causes a static charge. This charge is lowered by a flash discharge. And meanwhile, while this was happening, the highest alert level was declared for the volcano after pyroclastic currents reached inhabited areas outside the lockdown zone. So it was spreading further than they expected. So while I play you the video, which is amazing how this cloud of volcanic dust and debris is coming towards you, and that is different from like wildfire smoke because we have these particles, these fine volcanic rocks in these clouds. We've seen videos where it hits windshields of cars. That's why it's shredding jet engines, car engines, whatever you can imagine that is an engine and needs air. So absolutely insane when you look at these images. So the officials had to evacuate stranded climbers after the Semeru Volcano erupts. I mean, how crazy is that? And there you see, it can come as a surprise. People didn't give a warning, don't go near the volcano, don't camp at the foot of the volcano. Indonesian authorities evacuated as a whole almost 1,000 people, and they were facilitating the safe return, thankfully, today of 170 climbers. That search and rescue has just ended, basically. They were stranded after the eruption of Mount Semeru started. And guys, this is one of the country's tallest mountains. So of course, the alert level was maintained at its highest after Semeru on Java Island erupted 10 times on Wednesday and has emitted massive ash plumes, sending lava and rocks as far as almost 8.5 miles. That's 13.5 kilometers. That's how far it was spitting stuff, and it was sending it down its slopes in a crazy way, as you have already seen in the videos. I also want to show you the aftermath of the destruction. Look at the destroyed buildings. Look at these big boulders and all the mud. This is what the Lahar did. Basically a volcanic, how can you call it? Mud flow, landslide that is going very, very far. And what we're seeing here is the Supit village. And this was pictures we're taking in the morning, local time 5:30, and the boulders, and that's what residents are stressing. These big rocks were deposited by that eruption or by one of these several eruptions, and the residents say they're hot. Of course, it's a volcano. They're still hot, and if that hits your building, good night, I would say. So there you see how dangerous this is. But let's get back to these climbers again, because this is crazy. They were stuck overnight at a lakeside camping area at the foot of the volcano, roughly 6.4 kilometers, 5 miles from the crater. But they needed to be helped to safety. I just explained to you, over 8.5 miles, this is where everything was shot out from the volcano, and that's hot stuff. This is all an area that's also called the Semeru National Park. So thankfully, all the climbers and their guides, it was a guided group. It was not just some rogue people that went where they were not supposed to go. So now the officials say that the situation is under control. In 2021, also December, we're close to the same time, at least 51 people were lost to that eruption, and nearby villages were blanketed in ash, like an end of days scenario. Mount Semeru is quite high. It's 3,676 meters. That's 2.3 miles tall. And it's one of 130 active volcanoes in Indonesia. Of course, part of the Pacific Ring of Fire. We're talking about that very, very often. That horseshoe ring with the Pacific in the middle, where we have all these subduction zones and the resulting volcanoes. Because of this, most of the world's volcanic eruptions are happening there, and most of the largest and most dangerous earthquakes of the world, the highest percentage, is happening along the Ring of Fire. We've seen Kamchatka, we've seen Japan, so we've seen it quite often. Highly, highly seismically active zone, because all these plates are meeting there and subducting underneath each other, crushing against each other, putting a lot of pressure. East Java's rescue agency has deployed dozens of personnel to assist with the evacuation of these roughly 1,000 people that are living close to the volcano. They had already moved to schools, to gathering points, to mosques and government buildings, so to be picked up from there, I guess. And unfortunately, they also have to deploy, and they have deployed, and they're still searching for people, whether there are still residents that are trapped. Why that aviation warning? The Australian authorities have released a statement, and they can see the ash cloud is already partially identifiable on satellite imagery. So far, no flights have been canceled, but they have to see where that cloud is going. And the problem is, do you know how many people live on the fertile slopes of Mount Semeru? Tens of thousands of people, despite the fact that this volcano has erupted quite a few times in the last 200 years. Why are they living there? Because the soil is so fertile. You can grow stuff, volcanic soil. That's the problem with Vesuvius, and that was the downfall of Pompeii, with these big cone-like stratovolcanoes. Especially in the past days when when there was no volcanology and seismology and stuff like this, right? So fascinating images. So guys, I hope you found this interesting, because I really think it was. And today was a crazy day. There's so much that I need to tell you, so more videos will come out. But guys, in the meantime, you really have to check what's going on with Etna, because that earthquake swarm was in a critical area where we do not really want it, because it's already so unstable. So check out the video in the end screen, or one of the videos in the end screen, and please like this video and share it with your friends. If you're new here, welcome. I hope you stay, subscribe, and I'll see you in a second.